Planet Dolan.
From mourning the death of a hamster to not having any hands, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the dumbest excuses we've ever heard. I'm Doopy, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by SketchBunny. In school, Mimi wasn't very popular. Most of her friends were outcasts, but the only reason they would hang out with each other was because nobody else would hang out with them. When it came time to celebrate her 10th birthday, Mimi thought that if she invited everyone to her party, then more people would come. So she invited all the girls in her grade. A majority of the girls she invited turned her down, including her outcast friends. There was one girl who didn't turn her down, and Mimi was happy about that. On the day of the party, the girl called Mimi and canceled. Apparently, her excuse was that her hamster died and she needed to stay home and mourn. The thing was, Mimi had been to her house many times before and never saw a hamster. It was so depressing that she never had big birthday parties again. Number 9 was submitted by Wasted Waffle 7. One time during math class, Dolan asked his teacher if he could go to the bathroom. She said he could, so he walked down the hall and towards the bathroom. Before going into the boys' room, Dolan heard a weird noise. He was a little scared to go in at first, but he really had to pee, so he went in and did his business at the urinals. When he was done, he went to wash his hands. As he walked to the sinks, a fellow student, Derek, came out of one of the stalls and tried to sneak past Dolan, but was caught. Derek had brought his pet pig to school.
Why do you have a pig?
Asked Dolan. Derek shoved the pig into his backpack and asked, "What pig?"
The one you just shoved into your backpack,
said Dolan. "Oh, that's just a pink balloon," answered Derek. Then Dolan asked,
What about the noises?
"I got my phone stuck in the balloon and it was playing pig noises," answered Derek. Dolan just went back to class. He later found out that his school was holding an event where students can bring their pets to school, but it wasn't until next month. Number 8 was submitted by The Flaming Sword. James Shark was sitting in his art class when the teacher called out, "Now, who did the homework?" A boy sitting next to James Shark said, "Well, my sister thought it was fish food, so she fed it to our massive fish, but then the dog jumped in, killed the fish, and destroyed my homework." James Shark and the rest of the class laughed hysterically. Number 7 was submitted by, I'm gonna butcher this, CharisAlsup. I can't tell if that's an A or an I. I'm so sorry. One day, there was a boy in Princess Proton's class who had forgotten his stuff. When the substitute teacher asked him why he didn't have his stuff, he answered, I don't have hands." The teacher looked at him for a while before saying, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." Then she asked if there was someone in the class who could help out the poor boy. Out of the 25 other people, the teacher chose Princess Proton. During class, the boy kept bothering her. Every time she would complain to the teacher about him, she would yell, "The poor boy has no hands! Now, you have to help him all day, whether you like it or not. You have to carry his stuff, feed him his food at lunch, everything." The worst part was that the boy had a crush on Princess Proton and had fractured his hand while trying to impress her. Luckily for her, shortly after that day in class, the boy moved away. Number 6 was submitted by ninslayer. When she was younger, Froggy stayed with her boyfriend at his mother's house. When they woke up the next morning, she noticed that he was acting strange. Froggy asked what was wrong, and he told her that he dreamed that he was with another girl and had fallen madly in love with her. As a result, he told Froggy that he had to break up with her in order to be with that girl, a girl who didn't even exist. To this day, she thinks that he was the dumbest guy she ever dated. Number 5 was submitted by Spence-loves-dogs. Me too. Zaraganba's friend was late to class one day. The teacher asked him why he was late, and he said that it was because his pet goat ate his clothes and he had to cut it open to get them. After getting his tattered clothes, he had to stitch them up. Once he stitched them up, He was about to leave for school when he realized that he lost his keys to his unicorn. Zaragamba's friend was suspended for 2 days. When he returned to school, his classmates brought it up and laughed, including his teacher. Number 4 was submitted by Manuel Glee. When Hellbent was 8, his mom told him to never play with her toys. She didn't tell him why when he asked. Instead, she told him to just play with his own. Hellbent didn't listen, and one day it picked up her vibrator and began to play with it. At that age, he didn't know what a vibrator was. He played with it because it just looked like a sword. When his mom caught him, she asked him what he was doing. He answered,
"Mom, aliens are watching us! I must do it or they're gonna kidnap us and then eat us!"
It didn't work, and Hellbent was grounded for 2 weeks. Number 3 was submitted by Alien Hunter 2005. A year ago, Spinal Palm was hanging out at his friend Sid's house when he had to go to the bathroom. So, while he was taking a shit, he saw that Sid was videotaping him through the crack of the door. Spinal Palm screamed at him while wiping his ass. Then he ran out of the bathroom and asked Sid why the hell he recorded him. Sid said,
"I was making a documentary for school about what people do on the toilet."
Spinal Palm reacted by punching him in the face and storming out of the bedroom. Later, he saw that Sid had posted the video on Instagram. So he ran back to his house and kneed him right in the nuts. He cried for a while, but in the end, they ended up forgiving each other. Number 2 was submitted by keyboardshinobi. When Nixium was little, he decided to see if he could shave. His parents told him not to mess with razors, but he still wanted to try shaving. At the time, he didn't have any hair on his face, so he didn't understand how razors worked. Naturally, he cut himself pretty bad on the cheek. He came out of the bathroom and his mom freaked out at all the blood. She asked why he didn't listen to them, to which Nixium replied, "I did, but a gorilla came in and cut me before running away." Now his beard covers his scar, though the shame and laughter that comes from his family about the incident still haunts him. Number 1 was submitted by SlappedCucumber. Gergak was in the 11th grade when he heard a ridiculous excuse from one of his classmates. While sitting in class one day, Gergak saw that his classmate didn't do an assignment. When their lazy teacher asked the kid why, the kid answered, "Because I had to think about sophisticated fish and how someone wasn't allowed to have cheese because they have mental issues." Even though their teacher was lazy, he was still savage. Already knowing that the kid always comes up with stupid excuses, the teacher replied, "Number 1, you're sophisticated. Number 2, everyone can have cheese. Number 3, you have mental issues, mate." Years later, the kid moved to America. Huge thanks to the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What was the dumbest activity you've ever done at a birthday party? Let us know in the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.